Hi, this is Joshua with Lacrosse Rental Finance, and I wanted to do a little video today about adding value. The easiest way to increase your own value or net worth, or even increase the value of things that you have, be it a home, be it a car, be it relationships, is to add value. What does that mean? That means that the more you add value to something, the more value it has. So in your relationships, the more you give to those that are closest to you, the more things you can do for them, the more value that relationship has, the more value that person has of you. The biggest place to use it from a financial aspect is your job. And the easiest way to improve your financial scenario as far as getting paid more is by adding value no matter what job you have. How do you figure this out? Well, you start with, what does your employee really want? Generally speaking, there's a handbook that your employee has. Your employer might not have a handbook, but they've given you some type of training on, you do this, do this, do this. But the easiest way to see what they actually really want or need, even if they can't tell you what that is to look into the marketplace as far as like what everybody else is doing at the job, and see who's the most successful in the company, and then start to pattern your behaviors after what they're doing, or even trying to go and do a little bit more and a little bit better than them. In general, the more value you add over time, the more you're worth. There is a lot of people that will teach this out in the marketplace. I've read it several different places from many different authors. And they've always come to say that, as a matter of fact, one guy that I read said that he was fired by the same employer several times because his general behavior was pushing the limits of what the employer would take, but he was always doing it from the context of improving the employer's bottom line. So even though the employer would fire him, he really didn't fire him because he was constantly his best employee. Now that doesn't mean that you should always push those limits. What that means is he had created enough value for the employer that even though he was a pain in the employer's neck, the value that he added was worth more than that. From an individual standpoint for yourself, look at your marriage, look at your relationship with your friends, look at your relationship with other people in the workplace, and continually seek to add something of value. Sometimes it's as simple as smiling, saying please and thank you. We live in a culture that is continually decreasing in the formality or the kindness that people give to each other. And by just adding a smile, one of the things you can do is practice by going, when you go into a supermarket, look people in the eyes and smile, and you'll be surprised at how many people, even that are walking around with a grumpy face, will actually turn their face up and smile back. That right there is adding value, and you'll attract people, you'll attract good things that will come your way just because you're adding value. I hope this quick tip helped. Again, we'd love it if you guys ask questions. If you have any questions, or if you want to shoot us to shoot a video on a topic you like, put it in the comments. And I'm Joshua Dudgeon from Lacrosse Rental Finance. Have a great day.